You think the pain will pass. You tell yourself it is nothing. Maybe you slept wrong. Maybe you are dehydrated. Maybe it is just a muscle pull. But what if it is none of those things? What if that stabbing pain in your lower back is not a fluke, but a warning? Your body never speaks without reason. It does not scream unless it has whispered for far too long. And that sharp, sudden pain you pretend is just part of life might be a sign of something far more dangerous. Kidney stones do not just appear out of nowhere. They build slowly, silently, with every sugary drink, every skipped glass of water, every late night binge you justified because you were tired, stressed, or careless. You are told that kidney stones are just a side effect of diet, that they are common, that they are treatable. But the truth is, they are not just a medical inconvenience. They are a biological alarm, a signal that your internal systems are collapsing under the weight of modern living, a sign that your filtration system, the very core of your internal cleansing process, is overloaded, inflamed, and failing. Most men ignore the signs because the signs are not loud. They are subtle. You feel tired more often. You get headaches. You feel bloated after meals. Your urine darkens. Your concentration fades. And still you say, I am just stressed. But the truth is, your body is carrying a load it was never designed to carry, and it is beginning to crack. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you drank water before your body begged for it? When was the last time you noticed your urine color without looking away in denial? When was the last time you listened? Not reacted, but truly listened to what your body was saying before it screamed in pain. This script is not about kidney stones. It is about everything they represent. The toxic buildup of decisions, the quiet breakdown of systems, the inflammation you cannot see, but can feel, the dangerous assumption that your body can take anything you throw at it without consequence. You think pain only comes when something breaks. But the truth is, pain often comes right before a full collapse. Pain is the last line of defense. It is the moment your biology sends a final flare. And if you ignore that flare, what comes next is not just more pain. It is destruction. Kidney stones are more than calcium or uric acid. They are more than crystallized waste. They are the hardened form of your habits. Every one of them carries the memory of your choices, what you drank, what you ignored, how you lived when you thought there would be no price to pay. And now you are paying. In pain. Pain? In fatigue. In fear. In symptoms you cannot explain. And the worst part, you are not alone. Millions of men are walking around with kidneys that are inflamed, overloaded, and shutting down slowly. Not because they are weak, but because no one ever told them the truth. This is your truth now. The pain you feel is real. The signals are loud, and your choice is clear. You can continue ignoring the signs, or you can wake up, listen, and begin to repair what years of silence have broken. Your kidneys are not just filters. They are guardians. Two silent workers the size of fists, buried deep in your back, responsible for balancing your body's most vital chemistry. Every heartbeat sends blood through them, over 50 times per hour. And every second, They are filtering toxins, balancing minerals, removing excess waste, and keeping your internal world stable. You do not notice your kidneys when they are working. That is the problem. You only notice them when they fail. And when they do not whisper, they roar. The pain of a kidney stone is often ranked higher than childbirth or broken bones. It is not just physical. It is primal. It is your nervous system going into full red alert because something is deeply wrong. But what created that stone? It was not random. It was not fate. It was your habits, your hydration, your sodium intake, your sugar consumption, your caffeine obsession, your late night meals, your processed foods, your ignorance of the color of your own urine. All of these added up, not overnight, but slowly until your kidneys began to crystallize your lifestyle into something sharp, solid, and deadly. Kidney stones form in silence. They start microscopic. So small you would never know they existed. But over time, as the blood becomes thicker with waste and the minerals go unbalanced, these stones grow. And when they move, they tear through tissue. They rip the ureter. They bleed, block. They destroy, and they leave behind trauma that your body will remember long after the stone is gone. So ask yourself this: what kind of stone are you growing? Is it the result of stress you never dealt with? Is it the byproduct of a diet that gives you speed but no strength? Is it made of the soda you drink to stay awake, or the salt you pour to taste something in a life that has gone dull? Because a kidney stone is never just a stone. It is a symbol, a warning, a verdict. It tells the truth you do not want to hear, that you are breaking slowly and pretending it is not happening. And here is the part no one tells you. The body remembers. Once you form one stone, you are more likely to form another. Your kidneys have been sensitized. Your filtration system has been scarred. And unless you change your internal environment, the cycle will repeat. And again, until the pain becomes a pattern, and the pattern becomes who you are. You do not want to be the man who carries pain in his back and calls it normal. You do not want to be the man who cannot sleep through the night because his kidneys pulse with inflammation. You do not want to be the man who fears the toilet, who hides the blood in his urine, who cannot stand upright without wincing. But you will become that man unless you listen. Listen to your thirst. It is not just a signal for water. It is a signal for life. Hydration is not a side habit. It is survival. When you drink clean, mineral-rich water consistently, you flush the toxins before they harden. You give your kidneys what they were built for: flow, not pressure; support, not stress. Because a kidney stone is never just a stone. It is a symbol, a warning, a verdict. It tells the truth you do not want to hear, that you are breaking slowly and pretending it is not happening. And here is the part no one tells you. The body remembers. Once you form one stone, you are more likely to form another. Your kidneys have been sensitized. Your filtration system has been scarred. And unless you change your internal environment, the cycle will repeat. And again, until the pain becomes a pattern, and the pattern becomes who you are. You do not want to be the man who carries pain in his back and calls it normal. You do not want to be the man who cannot sleep through the night because his kidneys pulse with inflammation. You do not want to be the man who fears the toilet, who hides the blood in his urine, who cannot stand upright without wincing. But you will become that man unless you listen. Listen to your thirst. It is not just a signal for water. It is a signal for life. Hydration is not a side habit. It is survival. When you drink clean, mineral-rich water consistently, you flush the toxins before they harden. You give your kidneys what they were built for. Flow, not pressure. Support, not stress. This is not about drinking 8 glasses of water. It is about understanding that every cell in your body relies on your kidneys to survive, and every drink you choose is either fueling function or building failure. There is no neutral. There is only direction. And today, you must choose yours. The way back begins with clarity. Not just mental clarity, but biological clarity. You must know what your body is truly asking for. Not the cravings of a stressed mind, but the needs of a system on the edge of collapse. Your kidneys crave support. They do not want extremes. They want balance. The first element of recovery is not a pill. It is rhythm. Biological rhythm. You were not built to hydrate randomly. Your kidneys function best when water intake matches your circadian flow. Morning hydration sets your electrolyte balance for the day. Afternoon hydration supports blood filtration. Evening hydration should taper down, allowing your body to reset overnight without stress. Most people drink only when they are thirsty. But thirst is a late-stage signal. By the time your body sends that message, dehydration is already slowing your metabolism, clouding your thinking, and overloading your kidneys. That dryness in your mouth, to activate it, that is the sound of your cells crying out for help. Your body wants minerals, not just volume. Water without minerals passes through you. But water with sodium, potassium, and magnesium gets absorbed, utilized, and turned into life. Every ounce of hydration becomes a filter, a healer, a communicator between systems. It clears inflammation, balances pH, and restores the flow that kidney stones destroy. Let me ask you this. How often do you drink water with intention, not with distraction, not with scrolling, not with work, but with awareness? Can you remember the last time you looked at water and thought this is my medicine? Because that shift in mindset changes everything. Hydration is not about being clean. It is about being electric. Your cells run on charge. Your kidneys maintain that charge by balancing electrolytes. Every sugar ink you consume creates chaos. Every processed snack sends a signal to your kidneys that says battle incoming. And they fight every day until one day they cannot anymore. This is how men age before their time. Not in their faces, but in their blood. Not in their posture, but in their plasma. Kidney dysfunction lowers testosterone, elevates cortisol, disturbs sleep, and weakens recovery. The stone is just the symbol. The system collapse is the real story. So, the next time you feel a dull aching in your back, or you pee and see a darker shade than usual, or your energy crashes for no clear reason, pause. That is not bad luck. That is biology asking you to listen. And if you answer with change, the change will reward you. This is not about fear. It is about power. Because once you know the signs, you are no longer a victim. You are no longer in denial. You are no longer part of the silent majority walking toward destruction in silence. You are awake. You are informed. And you are responsible. Responsibility is not a burden. It is a weapon. It gives you control. It gives you choice. It gives you the ability to change your chemistry one decision at a time. That is how you reverse damage. That is how you prevent future stones. That is how you reclaim your strength. At the cellular level. Now that you understand the war inside, let us talk about the battlefield. Your kidneys do not fight alone. They are supported or sabotaged by every other system in your body. And the most dangerous enemy is not outside. It is habit. Silent, repeated, automatic behavior that reshapes your biology before you even know it. You think it is just another energy drink, just one more bag of salty snacks, just one more night of poor sleep. But each one of these acts like a hammer, chipping away at your filtration system. The kidneys absorb the stress. They hold the burden. They carry the acid load. They try to purify what your choices pollute. And they suffer in silence until they can no longer hold back the pressure. Stress is not just mental. It is chemical. Every surge of cortisol shifts your body's internal priorities. Blood moves away from the kidneys. Filtration slows. Inflammation rises. You become more acidic. The perfect conditions for crystal formation begin to take root. And if that stress is chronic, if your mind never rests, your gut never digests, and your breath never slows, then your kidneys are under constant fire. Ask yourself, when was the last time you went 24 hours without stimulants, without screens, without stress-inducing inputs like news, scrolling, or social tension? If the answer is never, then your kidneys have never been safe. They have never been allowed to operate in peace. Your urine does not lie. It tells the story of your day. Darker color, dehydration, strong odor, chemical overload, fogginess, protein leakage, pain or heat, inflammation. You do not need a lab to diagnose the truth. You just need to look and listen and accept what you see. The reason most people ignore the signs is because the fix feels hard. It feels inconvenient. It demands change, and change is uncomfortable until you remember what comfort used to feel like. That feeling of waking up rested, of thinking clearly, of moving without pain, of peeing without panic. That comfort is worth any amount of change. You cannot supplement your way out of this. You cannot medicate dysfunction into health. The body does not respond to shortcuts. It responds to consistency. Your kidneys do not need a miracle pill. They need you to stop poisoning them with modern convenience, to stop pretending that performance drinks create performance, that salty food is love, that processed snacks are fuel. They are not. They are sabotage. Your kidneys are asking for rest, for rhythm, for real food, for minerals that balance instead of inflame, for movement that stimulates blood flow, for hydration that does more than fill your stomach. They want restoration, not reward. Healing, not hype. Peace, not pressure. This is not about becoming a monk. It is about becoming a man who knows his systems, a man who leads with awareness, who does wait for pain to validate his decisions, who chooses discomfort now to avoid disaster later, who remembers that health is not luck. It is alignment, and that alignment begins with a choice, not tomorrow, now. Because the longer you wait, the louder the pain will get. And by the time you listen, the damage may already be done. Your body is talking. The question is, are you finally ready to answer? This is where it all turns. You have seen the signs. You have felt the pain. You have heard your body's warnings. Now you must decide. Will you continue down the path of slow collapse, or will you rise and rebuild? Because here is the true thing, you were not designed to live in constant breakdown. You were built for clarity, for stamina, for focus that cuts through noise, for strength that lasts beyond the gym. But none of that is possible when your kidneys are drowning in modern poison and your biology is gasping for support. Your transformation starts with discipline. Not punishment, but presence. Not sacrifice, but strategy. You wake up and drink mineral, rich water before your mind even checks a screen. You nourish with whole foods that came from nature, not factories. You sit with stillness so your nervous system can remember peace. You restore rhythm. Light in the morning, darkness at night, movement in between. You sweat, not just to look good, but to flush the toxicity that used to form stones inside you. You build habits that create flow, not friction. And you reclaim the body you almost forgot was yours. Let me ask you now, what would your life look like if your kidneys were thriving? If your energy returned in the morning like a weapon, if your mind felt clean again, if you could walk, work, and rest without tension, that version of you is not fiction. It is buried beneath layers of inflammation and forgotten rhythm, and you can bring it back. Pain is not the enemy. Silence is, because pain is feedback. Pain is a messenger. It is your biology's way of fighting for your future. And when you numb it, distract from it, or suppress it, you are not avoiding the problem. You are making it permanent. You have a choice now, a real one. And it begins with ownership of your water, of your food, of your screen time, of your stress response, of your daily rituals. Not because you are weak, but because you are ready to be strong again. The kind of strong that lives in every breath, every decision, every ounce of presence. The path back is not easy. It never is. But neither is living with stones that cut you from the inside out. Neither is waking up exhausted. Neither is living on stimulants, suppressants, and synthetic energy. Real power begins in the systems most ignore. And the kidney, your silent warrior, is one of the most powerful of them all. So now you know. The signs were never random. The pain was never meaningless. And your recovery is not impossible. You just need to begin. One glass, one breath, one decision. Again. Until your systems remember who you are. You were never meant to be inflamed, exhausted, and dependent. You were meant to move with clarity, think with speed, and lead with force. That future is waiting, and your body, if you listen, will take you there. No more silence, no more stones, just strength